What a night it was for Dodgers fans, and not for the reasons we were hoping. Let's dive into the whirlwind that unfolded under the bright lights of Sunday Night Baseball, where the Los Angeles Dodgers wrapped up their series against the New York Yankees in a way that left more questions than answers, especially around one man, Yoshinobu Yamamoto. Now, when you talk about Yamamoto, you're usually talking about precision. You're talking about control, command, a pitcher who steps onto the mound and immediately sets the tone. But last night, it was like watching a completely different player. From the very first pitch, something just felt off. He didn't look comfortable. He didn't look sharp. The same guy who usually slices through lineups like a hot knife through butter suddenly couldn't find the strike zone. And that's not an exaggeration. Yamamoto barely made it through 3 2/3 innings. Just think about that. A pitcher of his caliber, who's been one of the key figures in the Dodgers rotation, pulled before completing even 4 full innings. He gave up 7 hits, allowed 4 earned runs, walked 3, and struck out only 2. That's not the Yamamoto we're used to seeing. His command just wasn't there, and the Yankees took full advantage of it. After the game, Yamamoto addressed the media, through his interpreter, of course, and he didn't shy away from acknowledging what everyone saw. He straight up admitted that he couldn't get a handle on any of his pitches. He said that from the beginning of the game, he was struggling to locate, and even though he tried to make in-game adjustments, nothing really clicked. That's rough to hear, especially when you know how much pride this guy takes in his performance. What made the outing even more concerning is that it came right after a start against the Guardians where Yamamoto had a bit of a scare. You might remember he tweaked his hip while making a play at first base. And for a moment, it looked like it could become a bigger issue. So naturally, when he came out struggling against the Yankees, a lot of people started wondering, was that hip still bothering him? But according to Yamamoto, that wasn't the case at all. He was very clear, repeated it even, that his condition was fine. He said he felt good going into the game, that there was no discomfort, no physical limitation, holding him back. In other words, this wasn't about pain. This wasn't about injury. This was about execution, or the lack of it. And when your best pitches, your splitter, your fastball, your curveball are all out of sync, it becomes a tough night real quick, especially when you're going up against a lineup like the Yankees. Every little mistake gets magnified. And unfortunately for Yamamoto, that's exactly what happened. He couldn't find a rhythm, he couldn't command the zone, and before you knew it, the Dodgers were playing from behind. Manager Dave Roberts didn't sugarcoat it either. He saw the same thing the fans did. He said Yamamoto just never looked right from the jump. According to Roberts, the command wasn't there for any of his pitches. And you could tell by the way Roberts talked about it, this wasn't just one bad inning or one bad pitch. This was the entire outing that felt off. Roberts mentioned that the first inning in particular was a struggle. Not just in terms of runs, but pitch count. By the time Yamamoto was approaching 90 pitches and still hadn't gotten through the 4th, it was clear he wasn't going to bounce back that night. The decision to pull him early wasn't just tactical. It was about protecting the player, knowing that pushing him further wasn't going to lead to anything productive. That's the part fans sometimes overlook. These guys are competitors, sure, but they're also human. If a pitcher like Yamamoto is clearly out of rhythm and pushing toward an inefficient pitch count, there's no point in leaving him out there to grind through more damage. Roberts and the coaching staff made the call to pull the plug and regroup. And to be fair, Roberts didn't just focus on Yamamoto. He gave credit where it was due, mentioning how the Dodgers couldn't get anything going against Ryan Yarbrough either. The Yankees pitcher was in control, mixing speeds, changing eye levels, and keeping the Dodgers off balance all night. When you pair that kind of pitching performance with a struggling starter on the other side, the outcome becomes pretty inevitable. But let's not lose sight of the bigger picture here. One bad outing doesn't define a season. It doesn't even define a player. Yamamoto has shown flashes, no, more than flashes, of brilliance this year. Nights where he's practically untouchable, where hitters swing and miss and look back at him like they just faced a magician. That version of Yamamoto is still in there. The stuff hasn't disappeared. The mechanics might have been off. The rhythm might have slipped. But these are fixable issues. These are things that can be cleaned up in bullpen sessions, corrected with a bit of rest, recalibrated with the right support. What you want to see now is how he bounces back. That's the real test. Every elite pitcher has nights where nothing works, where the ball doesn't go where it's supposed to, where even your go-to pitch feels like a stranger in your hand. But it's what happens next that tells you who a pitcher really is. Does he bounce back with fire? Does he learn from the outing, adjust, and come back stronger? That's what everyone around the Dodgers organization will be looking for in Yamamoto's next appearance. He's got the mentality, he's got the drive, and most importantly, he's got the talent. You don't forget how to pitch overnight. So while this start against the Yankees was disappointing, there's no way around that. It's also not the end of the world. The season is long. The opportunities for redemption are plenty. And honestly, if you've been watching Yamamoto all year, you know this guy isn't going to take a night like that lightly. You know he's going to hit the film room, dig into what went wrong, and do everything he can to make sure it doesn't happen again. Because that's what great pitchers do. They don't crumble after a rough outing. They rise. Let's also not forget the context here. It's not like Yamamoto was getting shelled in every outing leading up to this. He's had some solid games, and even in the Cleveland game where the hip issue first popped up, he still showed grit and toughness. So one game against the Yankees, a team that's been red hot and knows how to capitalize on mistakes, shouldn't set off alarms. Still, it's a moment to pause and evaluate, not just for Yamamoto, but for the Dodgers as a whole. Because when a key piece of your rotation shows signs of inconsistency, you have to be ready to adapt. You have to look at your bullpen usage, your rotation strategy, your upcoming matchups. Everything gets a closer look. And that's the beauty and challenge of a long baseball season. It's a constant chess match full of adjustments and mini storylines that unfold day by day. Right now, the Yamamoto chapter just hit a rough patch, but the story's far from over. There's still a lot of baseball to be played and a lot of chances for him to remind everyone exactly why the Dodgers made such a big investment in bringing him over. And with the kind of work ethic and poise he's already shown in just a short time in the majors, you get the feeling that bounce-back performance is coming sooner rather than later. Beyond the struggles on the mound, the ripple effects of Yamamoto's rough night were felt throughout the Dodgers lineup and overall team dynamic. When your starting pitcher isn't able to hold the opposition in check, it places extra pressure on the bullpen and the offense to make up for lost ground. Unfortunately, neither side seemed able to rise to that challenge against the Yankees. On Sunday night, the bullpen was called into action earlier than expected due to Yamamoto's quick exit. Typically, the Dodgers rely on a carefully orchestrated relief plan where arms are warmed up and scheduled to handle specific innings and matchups. But with the starter struggling to find his groove and unable to stretch deep into the game, the relief corps had to scramble to cover more innings than planned. That can wear down even the deepest bullpen, and against a lineup as potent as New York's, every reliever had to be on point. The result, however, wasn't what the Dodgers hoped for. Some pitchers showed signs of fatigue or inconsistency, and the Yankees capitalized, piling on runs to build a commanding lead. Offensively, the Dodgers found themselves chasing the game from early on. Facing a confident Yarbrough on the mound who was effectively mixing his pitches and keeping hitters off balance, the Dodgers' offense struggled to generate momentum. Timing was off, swings were late, and the kind of clutch hitting that often defines this team's identity was largely absent. When the bats go cold, even the best pitching struggles to carry the team, and that balance was missing on this particular night. One of the defining aspects of baseball is how momentum swings can dictate the flow of a game and even a series. When the Dodgers offense couldn't respond quickly enough to Yamamoto's early trouble, the Yankees seized control and never looked back. Each inning seemed to chip away at the Dodgers' confidence, making the mountain that much harder to climb. It's in moments like these that experience and resilience are tested, and this young Dodgers squad was reminded just how unforgiving postseason level baseball can be. Manager Dave Roberts, known for his calm and steady leadership, faced a difficult challenge trying to steady the ship. He needed to make quick decisions on how to manage the pitching staff, how to keep the players focused despite the growing deficit, and how to prepare for the next game mentally and physically. Roberts has earned respect for his ability to guide the Dodgers through high-pressure situations. But even the best managers know that baseball is a game of adjustments, and sometimes, no matter what you do, things just don't break your way. Yamamoto's experience last night serves as a reminder of how demanding the transition to Major League Baseball can be, even for highly talented players coming from successful careers overseas. The level of competition, the constant travel, the spotlight, and the relentless grind of the season all add layers of complexity. For Yamamoto, who has shown flashes of brilliance and the ability to dominate lineups, nights like this are setbacks, but also valuable learning moments. The key is how he channels this adversity into growth. Looking ahead, the Dodgers will need to lean on their depth, both on the mound and at the plate. They have the talent to bounce back from this loss, but it will require collective effort and individual accountability. Pitchers will need to sharpen their focus and execution, and hitters will need to rediscover their timing and aggression at the plate. Baseball is a game of failure and redemption, and the Dodgers are no strangers to either. Fans watching will be eager to see how the team responds in upcoming games. Will Yamamoto reclaim his form and remind everyone why he's considered one of the most promising arms in the league? Can the Dodgers offense find its rhythm and start producing runs in clutch moments again? These questions will dominate conversations in the clubhouse and the stands as the season progresses. One thing is certain, the Dodgers' pursuit of their goals this season is far from over. There will be highs and lows, moments of brilliance, and moments of struggle. But that's what makes baseball so compelling. It's a marathon, not a sprint, and resilience often separates champions from the rest. The pressure is on, but it's also an opportunity, a chance to prove character, to grow as a team, and to keep chasing the dream with everything they've got. In the meantime, Yamamoto and the Dodgers will take what they've learned from this outing, make the necessary adjustments, and prepare to return to the mound with renewed determination. Because in baseball, just like in life, setbacks are temporary, but the fight to get back up is what truly defines you. But before we move forward, don't forget to join our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest news about the Los Angeles Dodgers. We'd love to hear your thoughts on the news, so drop a comment below. In a stunning development that has sent shockwaves across the baseball world, whispers are growing louder about Manny Machado possibly joining the Los Angeles Dodgers. Although nothing has been officially confirmed, sources close to the player and the organization suggest that negotiations might be in advanced stages, sparking intense speculation among fans and analysts alike. Machado, known for his powerful bat and stellar defense at third base, would represent a massive boost to the Dodgers lineup, which is always on the lookout for star power to maintain their dominance in the MLB. For weeks, rumors have circulated that the Dodgers are exploring every avenue to strengthen their roster ahead of the upcoming season, and Machado's name has frequently been mentioned in the mix. If this deal goes through, it would mark one of the most significant acquisitions of the year, given Machado's proven track record and ability to perform in clutch situations. The Dodgers, who already boast a formidable lineup, would gain a player capable of changing the dynamics of any game with his offensive prowess and defensive reliability. Machado's potential arrival is fueling countless debates across sports, media platforms. Some insiders speculate that the Dodgers could be offering a lucrative contract package, possibly including a multi-year deal that would keep Machado in Los Angeles for the foreseeable future. Others believe this move could be a strategic attempt to outpace rivals like the San Francisco Giants and the San Diego Padres, who have been aggressively pursuing top talent to bolster their own rosters. The impact on Machado's current team cannot be overlooked either. Should the Dodgers finalize this deal, it would leave a noticeable void in Machado's former squad, which has relied heavily on his contributions both on and off the field. Fans of that team are reportedly bracing themselves for a significant transition period, while Dodgers supporters are eagerly anticipating the addition of a player of Machado's caliber. While official statements remain scarce and the situation is still very much a developing story, the buzz surrounding Machado and the Dodgers continues to build. Social media is abuzz with speculation, with fans sharing everything from hopeful reactions to detailed trade scenarios. Sports analysts are already theorizing how Machado's skill set would integrate with the Dodgers' playing style, and what this means for the team's championship aspirations. Whether this rumored move materializes or not, one thing is certain: Manny Machado's name will remain at the center of MLB conversations for the foreseeable future. The possibility of him donning the iconic Dodgers uniform has injected fresh excitement and intrigue into an already thrilling offseason, leaving baseball fans on the edge of their seats, eagerly awaiting what could be one of the biggest stories in sports this year. That's all for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay up to date with exclusive news about the Los Angeles Dodgers, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We always appreciate your comments and feedback. See you in the next video.